while it's just doing this stuff. Right. Okay. Yes. I'm not doing deving. I'm certainly not playing Assassin's Creed Unity. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm probably streaming at this point. No, because I'm just previewing the stream. No, I am apparently. Oh, yes, we're up. Hey guys, I'm just setting up the stream because I hit the stream button and then thought actually I need to change it because I'm not doing that. Sunday night stream, playing some Minecraft, modded obviously. Did Minecraft, playing some modded Minecraft. Yes, I'm particularly organised tonight. I also can't spell. That's fine because I don't need to spell to chat. Right, all that stuff is saved. So what's going on here? Well, some of you that may or may not know, I've been trying to create a pack in 1.10 that is basically the sort of pack that tries its hardest to kill you. So, for example, I've got Abyssalcraft on here. Now, that does some things. I'm not completely certain what exactly it does. But one of the things it does is that occasionally passive mobs might get inhabited by a demon and attempt to kill you. Because that's a thing. Yeah. Sorry, it might be a little coffee. I'll try not to cough too much into the microphone. Still trying to shake this cold. Right, yeah, other things. Okay, so I've got the Zombie Overhaul mod on here, and it does a few interesting things with the undead in this world. Mainly, they will be drawn towards blood. So if you fall off a cliff and hurt yourself, it will leave a little blood patch, and then zombies might be attracted to that if they're nearby. They'll also be attracted to heat and light. So you might open your door and find there's a zombie sitting behind it. Because, yeah, I find this stuff fun. Weird, right? But, you know, what's quite important for any mod pack is that you kind of got your two sides. So you've got all the stuff that's actively trying to kill you, and then you've got all your stuff that's trying to help you out. So the balance is reasonably, there. So, for example, so you'll see down in the chat, I've got, it's talking about stuff low on stone hoe, low on seeds, potato, carrot. This is because one of the mods that I've got installed, and it does spam a little bit, but one of the mods that I do have installed is a mod that allows you to build cities. And I thought that was kind of cool, and as a result I'm thinking of removing progressive automation from here because it's doing the same thing ultimately, and the cities mod adds some more sort of well, you can build cities. It's a little bit different. They don't require any power, but they require a lot of resources to actually sort of build up the farms and all that. So I thought that was kind of neat. I should note I do have Hunger Overhaul. Sorry, great time to sneeze, really. Oh, I need a tissue. God, I hate being ill. Okay, right, yeah. Hunger Overhaul mod. No, I don't have that one. I've got Spice of Life, which basically means that over time, food becomes less useful for you. So I can eat some steak, and that'll pretty much, yeah, that'll fill me up and heal me. But my nutritional value for the steak is now less than 50%. So if I was to eat that steak again, I'd only get 2 hams instead of 4. So yeah, that it kind of tweaks that sort of stuff. I would quite like to get Hunger Overhaul mod on here when it's actually, is it over yet? That'd be interesting to see. No, I don't have Hunger Overhaul mod yet. There's all sorts of cool stuff on Curse, but not that yet. I do have Pam's Harvestcraft installed, and Harvestcraft does work with the farms from the cities mod. I'll just do add city. Yeah. So your farm is your first sort of basic block. They're really cheap to make, but they require a lot of sort of different materials. So a farm will require a hoe and seeds of any type. It will grow them. And then if you add a coin pouch into a farm, certain things it can actually sort of automatically sell, or it gains worth or something. Anyway, you can get more coins in the coin pouch, and that will be useful for higher tier of things, because you've got to invest into them. It's a really interesting mod, actually. So some of them, like the farm will just create farmland and auto plant and auto harvest stuff, and then and then other ones will, like the office for example, will actually create a structure, and the road will create a structure. So I thought that was kind of interesting, kind of neat to have in a mod pack. You know, this is very much a blend of the old and the new. So I've got the old stuff like industrial craft and forestry and railcraft. I don't have buildcraft yet, because that's not been ported over yet either, I don't think. I will just check. Buildcraft, no buildcraft yet. So, you know, the original 4, as I would consider it to be, forestry, industrial craft, buildcraft, and railcraft, and I only got 3 of the original 4. So they are sort of my core mods, and then I've sort of built a structure around it. I would quite like some turret mods, so things like, turrets, ultimately, for defences. Some kind of defence mod, because I really don't have that yet. I've got I've got RF tools, which does have some kind of a force field, but there's not really a huge amount of defences. So you have to build like lava moats or traps, that sort of thing. Speaking of mobs, right, a few other things that have sort of been changed. Mobs are slightly more evil, just in general, because of one mod that I added. There are more different types of mobs in the world, thanks to Ender Zoo. What else? Oh, blood moons happen every so often, so that really amps up the amount of mobs that are outside. The only one that I would really love is something that allows zombies to break walls. They used to be able to break doors, but they don't anymore. They just sort of hammer on them a little bit, if they even hammer on them at all. So this is actually Malice's doors. This is a door that you can just make, and yeah, it's a reinforced door. It's rather awesome. It's got a hatch wheel and everything. Yeah. It's got a little window in it as well, so you can see through it. Not that well. I mean, sometimes I've kind of looked outside, not seen anything, opened the door, and there's been a skeleton standing there. So, you know, the window can be a little bit interesting. You can vaguely see outside. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, and there's tornadoes that happen every so often, because why not? This is the thing that I'm, mod packs need to surprise me. And for a while, they haven't really been surprising me. I mean, Thorncraft did a really good job at renewing your interest every so often. But 1.7.10 was sort of the dawn of the mods that just do everything. So you had Industrial Craft that did everything, and Ender.io that did everything, and Thermal Expansion that did everything, and Mindfactory Reloaded that did everything. And there were no mods, well, not that many mods that did one thing really, really well. So Immersive Engineering was one of those few mods out there that did one thing really, really well. And there's more of that in 1.10 at the moment in general. So we've got this cities mod that seems to do cities really, really well. And then I've got, like, if you want to fulfill your Ars Magica needs, you've got PSI, which is a little bit more complicated than Ars Magica. But you also have things like routes as well, which is sort of the other side of the coin, as it were. And then, these are like the Chisel and Bits mod. So when Chisel and Bits was released for 1.10, I removed the Chisel 2 mod and Carpenter's Blocks, because you can do all of that stuff with one mod now. So I was sort of messing around here with adding wood log bits into Alabaster. And the great thing about this is, and I will do this with this this table thing that I was making. Yeah, you can basically just craft your own table, and then you can pick it up and you can move it around, and that's really, really awesome that you can do that. So you can just have a stone block out, and when it's night and raining and there's mobs out there everywhere, you can just sit in here and craft yourself a table, because why not, really? And I think quite a lot of the mods sort of started to lose that sort of why not factor. I want to do this because I can. And then if you wanted, has stripes or whatever, you can do that, because you can get yourself something like, you can do it with wool, can't you? So you can get yourself some yellow wool, and then carve yourself some hazard stripe things in there, and then paint it up with black wool, if you wanted to, or anything that's black, really, because you can Chisel and Bits pretty much any block that I've found so far. So that's rather nice. I mean, it might be a little bit more difficult to get the sort of the has. Hold on. So say we wanted one of those blocks, so we could do something along the lines of this. And then I just need to fill that gap in where I made a mistake, and then go down there like that. You can clone blocks as well. Also, you can put liquid bits in there as well by using bit tanks, which is rather nice. Then so if I do, 3 between them, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so yeah, okay, so then we'll just do that. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. And then I guess, what can we use? I mean, theoretically, you could potentially do this with copper ore. Let's just have a look. It's going to be rather interesting, actually. Yes, you can do it with copper ore. It doesn't do it particularly well, but now it's back to copper ore. You know, that mod is pretty damn awesome. Let's just use some of this because I've got it lying around. Doesn't look great, and I'd certainly want to use some more. I don't know, something like iron block, I guess, in the centre. But that looks pretty good, actually. For a first try with substandard materials, yeah, that actually does look pretty kind of awesome. So that's the sort of thing you can do with chisels and what was it, chisel and bits. Very, very interesting mod. And one that can keep you entertained while you're just listening to the zombies bang on the door. Right. I need to go. Right. I need to get seeds, and I need to get. Water isn't infinite. Yeah. Another little evil change I made. Yeah, water isn't actually infinite, and that's what the sky looks like. And you can kind of see where. You can kind of see what's happening with the sky because it's using particle effects instead of those fluffy clouds. This is the weather mod that's from the same guy that does the Hunger Overhaul mod, and yeah, it looks really kind of awesome. Oh, chance cubes. Let's break one. Let's see what we get. Probably nothing good. A bone and an Ocelot egg. Interesting. Sometimes they can be good, sometimes not so good. It's just, well, it's a chance cube. Right, okay. So I'm looking for seeds, ultimately. And the best way to get that is from grass, obviously. But I don't just want seeds, I want these little farms that you see. I don't want to go into that area there, that's bad area. Very bad. That's, from Abyssalcraft. So it's kind of like how it's basically very similar to the Taint, I guess, from Thorncraft, but there's more life in there. So the Taint basically destroyed everything. Now Abyssalcraft creates some biomes that sort of converts the areas into abyssal biomes, and yes, it's interesting, put it that way. Let's put those into there. So the farms will kind of create food, essentially. The great thing is that they don't need any power and they convert quite a lot of space into farmable land. So but you do need to put in food. So food is essentially your version of power, I guess. But it seems to work with any food, and it seems to work with any seeds as well, which is rather nice. Okay, more seeds. Now somewhere there is apparently a ruined city, which is something that the cities mod adds. It adds a ruined city not far from the spawn point, and if you go there, you can either just kind of loot all the resources or restore it back to its former health. And I would quite like to restore it if I can find it. So there's a pink slime island up there. Looks of things. Tinker's Construct has changed a lot. Plus, I've made some modifications. I've just basically made it more evil. It's kind of what you expect from a pack like this. And it's roots from the Roots mod. That will be useful later on. Ooh, there we go. There are the farms, or I can't remember exactly what they're called. They're little sort of tufts of grass, and they give different things depending on which one you found. And for some reason, has the stream stopped? No, you're all good. Alright, these things. Windy gardens, they're called gardens, and yeah, the windy ones have an awful lot of different things in. All of these will work with the theme, the farm that we're building down there. I say building, it's all sort of just happening. And we've also got some cotton. Excellent. I do need cotton. Because in order to make the pouch, it's almost like the entry-level pouch, you need some string. And I actually do have some of those, I think. Right, so I'm just making some seeds. Potatoes, so you need seeds, right. I quite like Agrocraft on here as well. I think that's quite a good mod. Again, it does one thing very, very well, and it doesn't try to be everything. It just does one thing, and that's all you really need from a mod. I mean, like Zycraft. Zycraft did what it did very well, and it's just a shame that it's really not updated anymore. I understand that modders have lives, but something like Zycraft, it is a shame that it's not being developed anymore. I liked Zycraft. I thought it was an interesting mod. The things that he was doing was very interesting, but unfortunately now you kind of, looking at Zycraft, it doesn't do anything that the other mods don't do anymore. And that's a shame. Like the tanks. Well, Extra Utilities has tanks that do basically the same thing. And for some reason I am stuck. Right, okay. Let's try that again. So it's converted all land in a 64 by 64 area into farmland, which might get a little annoying at some point, but for the moment I just need to get everything growing and find out where it's actually planting these things. You see, I would have expected it to start around itself, but it's being a little bit interesting on that front. Oh well. Get wood and right, yeah, I think it's just a case of getting the wood that I need and then hiding. I don't know, might do some roots if I've got the stuff. Don't have the stuff for it actually. Or I could continue the city stuff. I'd do some Civ, but I've got some issues with Civ. Civ 6, right, well, we might as well just chat about Civ 6. I like Civ 6. I know a lot of people are complaining about the graphics. The graphics aren't as realistic looking as Civ 5. But I play this. This isn't exactly realistic. graphics don't matter to me. Gameplay is what matters to me. And what I care about with graphics is a consistent art style. That's all I want. And if I can get past, you know, slightly more pixely graphical style, then that's fine. You know, I don't care too much about that sort of stuff. What I care about is is it fun to play? And all in all, yeah, it's pretty fun. Civ 6 is pretty fun to play. The only issue that I have is an audio bug, because Civ 6 isn't really the sort of game where you concentrate on it per se. It's not that sort of engaging game, so I would quite like to watch stuff on my other screen while I'm playing Civ, which is fair enough. But for some reason I can't, because the Civ just kind of basically steals all the sound. So even if you're not playing any sound, it won't let you play any sound anywhere else, unless you start up your YouTube video that you want to watch and then boot up Civ, which is really annoying if you're watching, say, a 20-minute YouTube video. So that's my only real big quarry with it. The art style is fine as far as I'm concerned. The gameplay is good. I like that you have to be a little bit more careful about your lands now, because, okay, so a barbarian attacks in Civ 5 and they hit your improvements and they raise them to the ground. It's a case of no biggie, we'll just, you know, get rid of them and then send a worker unit over to repair it, and it'll take, you know, a couple of turns, if that. Now, a barbarian unit can, say, attack your campus, which is holding all of your research buildings, and it burns your library to the ground. Well, now that is a problem, because it's going to take about, you know, it could take, say, you know, 10, 20 turns, even longer, to actually repair that, and all the time your research is suffering because of that. And I like that, because it makes you think a little bit. You know, it isn't a case of here's my city and it's completely invulnerable. It's a case of here's my city, I've got to also be careful about everything around it as well, so I've got to have a standing army, and you might even have to be a little bit more aggressive to be a little bit more defensive in the long run. So yeah, I like that. The other thing that kind of popped up was some complaints on Farming Simulator forums. Yeah, I'm probably going to do some Farming Simulator videos, because I quite like the game, and Farming Simulator 15, I kind of, you know, by the time I'd got into it, the game had been out for God knows how long, and actually I think it's a really decent game. But the guys over at Giant Software, developers of Farming Simulator 17, gave the video to, well, you know, streamers, you know, people that had been really backing the game in the past, and as a result, you know, people are complaining about it. Well, not completely certain why. It's not like it doesn't happen with other games, and yeah, it's just a bit of marketing ultimately. Ooh, this is fun, actually. This is a fun mod. So yeah, going back to Minecraft here. So have you ever wanted to have Applied Energistics but without all of the mess that Applied Energistics seems to have? Well, this is the sort of mod for you. It basically does Applied Energistics, except you know, it's all part of this. Really, yeah, this one. It's basically AE but without all the mehness. So, you know, it's easy to auto-craft this stuff, and it's also very easy to just set up as well. you know, you got this wireless receiver and wireless transmitter. It's none of those, you know, the P2P gates or anything like that. It's not awkward to set up. It's literally dump down wireless receiver, dump down wireless transmitter, and you do have to do something to kind of link the two up, but it's really, really easy to do. And might be the World Throw, I can't remember, but yeah, it's, you know, a really decent mod actually. It's called Correlated Potentialistic, something along those lines. Anyway, you can see it there. Yeah, it's a decent mod. All in all, it's just that I'm nowhere near being able to afford that. Don't have the Ender Pearls and I don't have the Glowstone Dust. I'm very, very early on in the game. Might actually do some doors. What do I need to do? Some doors. I pretty much want the cities to sort of sort stuff out for me. Yeah, some reasonably decent stuff here. You can have a rusty hatch, it's kind of nice. And a high-tech door. Oh, I would like to have one of those. Force field controller. Hello. Oh, what? It's gonna nip to my creative world. Which is new one. Stuff has been added since I've done my video on it. I did do I guess a mod spotlight type thing on Malice's Doors. I think it's a really, really interesting mod. Because again, does one thing very well, and that one thing is doors. Right, yeah, I was testing some stuff. Oh, this is this platforms mod, which you can use to make platforms. It's quite a nice little mod there. Right, so it was Malice's Doors. I want to see that one, and I want to see what this does. Oh, that is nice. I like that one. Ooh. That's like a lab sort of thing. That'd be good. Okay. So what creates force field? I'll do Hardenstone. Okay. So you can kind of can't turn them. There's one shouldn't go here. No, you can't turn them around, unfortunately. But oh right, there, 3x3 doors. But that I like. I do like that one. And this is more like a garage door. And so I assume I would use like a lever to open it. Yeah, ooh, that's nice. I have to say that is quite nice. I would assume it goes higher as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. That's rather nice. a nice looking door. And let's just go back to Malice's doors. Got something called a factory door here. Oh, that's not too bad. Ooh, ooh, that's very much not too bad. Right, okay. So the only weird one then is this one, which I guess you could do something like that with. So you got your force field and you can turn it off, on and off. You can't use redstone signals to do it though. That's a shame. But yes, this is the sliding trapdoor. It's rather nice. And rusty hatch. I have a suspicion that the rusty hatch is actually used to make stuff. No, it is actually meant to be. On something somehow. But I don't know how big it's even meant to be, that one. But anyway, yeah. Interesting mod, that one. Yeah, I'll do 5 more minutes and then I'll stop. Basically, it was just a quick stream. Oh, God. I just accidentally closed the game completely. Let's do that. Bear with me. Oh, you know what? It's going to take me a while to reload, and I'm going to just end the stream here. Yeah, it was just a kind of quick stream, really. I was just kind of showing off a few mods. Yeah, I've got some more stuff coming at some point. Not sure what I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, because Farming Simulator doesn't come out till Tuesday. We'll see. We'll see what I fancy. So with that, I'll say thank you very much for watching this little stream, and I'll see you next time.